Hi everyone, we have a 50-minute Pilates Flow. It's going to include total body movements. You'll feel really strong by the end of class, and make sure your weights are handy and nearby. So let's get started on our mat, taking our legs just a little bit wider than our hips. Bend through your knees, legs are parallel to start. Keep your arms nice and long and roll your shoulders down and back, so you're opening up your chest. Bend your knees, keep your chest lifted, reach down towards the mat, and then lift all the way back up. So you're lowering down and then up, engaging your glutes as you come back up to that stand. Nice big inhale and exhale. Lower and lift. Keeping that chest nice and open. You have 3 more here. 2 and 1. Now lower back down into your squat. Reach your arm up towards the ceiling. Bring it back through center and then lift all the way back up. Same thing now, but on the other side. Reach, extend, bring it through and lift. Be gentle through your spine so that you're not over rotating through your back here. You're keeping the chest open and you're getting that nice release, that nice stretch, and lift on up. You have 4 more. And lift. 3. And reach. 2 more here. Last one. Lower, extend, and lift all the way back up. Take your legs out to a wide plie squat. Bending from your knees, bending from your hips. Reach your arms nice and long, lower down, and then lift up and overhead. So we're just warming up our body, finding the strength through our lower body, and at the same time, we're warming up that upper body by getting those arms moving, lowering down and up. This is 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now reach your arms out nice and long to the side. Shift your weight over so you're extending through your leg. Reach your arm up and over, and then circle back through center, and then switch to the other side. Reach up and over, circle, reach to the other side. So we're just alternating right and left here, getting a nice side bend through our trunk. So you'll get a stretch through your lower back. You can either keep your spine in neutral as you reach around, or you can round through your back, go into a little bit of a cat stretch as you switch from one side to the next. 4 more. 3. 2 more here. Last one. And now shift your weight on over, extending through your leg. Find that nice lateral lunge here, reaching your arms forward, keeping the chest open. Take your arms out to the side, hinge from your hips, and then come back up through center. So plant your feet firmly into the mat, bending from your hips. You can send your bottom back slightly and then lift all the way back up. Nice big inhale and exhale. You can always bend through your opposite knee if you need a little bit more support, if that extension hurts your knee. You want to make sure that you're in a position that's comfortable on your body. Most of your weight is over your supporting leg here. And again, reaching down and up. 5 more. This is 5, 4, engaging through your back muscles as you reach and lean forward. You got this. Let's do 2 more here. So this is 2 and lift. Last one, and then come back through center. Same thing now, but on the other side. You can always bring your foot on in if that feels a little bit easier. on your body, weight is over that supporting leg. Reach your arms nice and long. Same movement. Reach and extend and lift. So you're taking your arms forward. You're extending through your spine as you reach forward, and you're hinging from your hips. So you're in that neutral spine, and then you lift back up. And press. Again, taking it forward and lift. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Lift on up, rotate. So now turning your hips, turning your legs. Keep that back heel lifted. Hands can go onto your hips, lowering down into a lunge, taking it down and up. Keeping the chest open with this movement as you lower and lift. Pressing through your feet. Hips are nice and leveled off here. And press. You have 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Now on this last one, lower halfway down, keeping the chest open. Little pulses here. Little presses. Keeping the chest open again. Reach the arms overhead, feeling that rib cage connect. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it here. Extend through your back leg. Shift your weight forward. Arms can still reach overhead, or you can place your hands on your hips. Lift the back leg up and down. So you're shifting your weight forward. Again, keeping that chest nice and open. Lift and lower. Using that breath to help you. Keep finding the length through the back of your leg here, so that way you're not bending through your knee. 3 more. This is 3, 2, and 1. Now bring your feet together in that yoga chair squat position. Sit low. Place your hands on your hips to start. So weight is back into your heels. Glue your thighs together. So knees and ankles are pressing in together. Chest is open. Take your hands into prayer. Draw that belly button towards your spine. See if you can sit 1 inch lower, and then try to reach your arms overhead for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift all the way back up. So same thing now, but on the other side. Taking your leg back, keeping your chest open, lower down into a lunge that works for you. So you can always come up a little bit more in this lunge. Make sure that you're utilizing your thighs and your glutes with this movement as you lower and lift here. Finding the strength in both of your legs. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lower down into your lunge for little baby pulses here. Pressing through your legs, you're engaging through your thighs. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now straighten out the back leg. Hinge from your hips. Reach your arms overhead, or you can keep your hands on your hips. Shift your weight forward, lifting your leg up and down. So you're building that strength through your thighs here as you lift and lower. Lift and take it back down. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring your feet together back in that yoga chair pose. Sit low. Think about engaging through both of your legs evenly, shifting your weight back so you can easily pick up your toes. You can reach your arms overhead, or you can take your hands into prayer. Keep drawing belly button to spine. Sit 1 inch lower. Keep that chest open. and breathe. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale and separate your feet. Peel it on down. Think one vertebrae at a time. Or you can walk your hands down your thighs in neutral spine. It's up to you. So reaching down towards the mat. You can bend your knees as much as you need to in order to place your hands on the mat. And now try to lengthen and find that nice stretch through the back of your thighs here as your arms reach down towards the mat. Now bend your knees if you're not already there and extend your legs slightly. We're going into little bend and press through the knees. Focusing less on what the knees are doing and think more about the action of your thighs. So the back of your legs are finding that nice stretch and bend. 4 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Now walk your feet back into downward dog. Keep lifting your hips up nice and high, pressing your heels down towards the mat. So you're getting that stretch through the back of your legs. Chest is open. And now you can pedal your feet out here, alternating right and left. Press both heels into the mat now. Keep lifting your hips up nice and high. Shift your weight forward so you're going into your plank. You can always lower down onto your knees. That's another option where you bend your knees so you're in that half plank position. Or you can lower down onto your forearms if that full arm extension is tough on your wrist. So pick the option that works best for you. Find your plank and hold it here. Keeping the hips nice and level. Keep drawing belly button into spine for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, downward dog again, lifting your hips up nice and high. Pressing your heels down towards the mat. 1 more breath here. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees. We're going to lift up with a flat back, so going into neutral spine, walking your hands up your thighs. Take your hands behind your head. So starting with your knees bent, hinge forward from your hips. So you're leaning in that neutral spine. Place your hands down on the mat. Walk it out to your plank, whether it's a half plank or a full plank here. So if you're in a full plank, take one knee in and then switch and hold it there. If you're in a half plank position, extend one leg and then switch to do the other side, okay? So let's do this together. Either drawing your leg in or out, and then walk your hands back, bending your knees. Keep that neutral spine. Take your hands behind your head. Lift all the way back up into a stand. Keeping that neutral spine and engaging your abs slightly. We're going to repeat this. So bending the knees, hinging forward. Place your hands on the mat. Walk it on out. Find your plank. And then draw the knee in if you're in that full plank. Or you can extend the legs if you're in the half plank. Walk it back in. Hands go behind the head. Keep that neutral spine and lift all the way back up. Again, bending the knees. Hinge it forward. Place your hands down. Walk it out. You can always just hold the plank here. You don't necessarily need to do the leg movement. Walk it on back. Using your tummy muscles. Lifting it all the way back up. 2 more here. Reach it forward. Walking it on back. Hands behind the head. lifting all the way back up. Last one. Walking it forward and press. Walking it on back, hands behind the head, and lift all the way up. Okay, so let's grab our weights. Going into a little bit of upper body movement here. Start by taking your arms out to the sides. Elbows are slightly bent, bending your knees. Take the arms in and out for hug a tree. So from the side, your elbows are slightly lifted. You're keeping that chest nice and open. In and press. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now bring one arm in and hold it here. Start by taking your opposite arm in, lower it down and up. Nice big inhale and exhale. Lower and lift. You're starting to feel this in your shoulder probably, which is good. You're going to feel this through your upper body. Just be careful that you're not putting any tension through your head and your neck here. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Lower it down, other side. So switching out your arms. Palm faces up. From here, lifting it up and down. Keeping the chest nice and open. Weight is even through both of your legs. And press. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now elbow comes in, so palms faces up towards the ceiling. Take your arms out towards the diagonals, keeping the arms pretty much straight with a slight bend in the elbows. Lift up to shoulder height and then lower back down. So from the side, you get that little round, that little curve through your elbows. Lift and press and lower. Reach and lift. Keeping that chest open, and be really careful that the arms are not swinging back on their own. You're finding the resistance through this movement. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now keep the elbows right in by your rib cage. Reach it forward and back in. So going into that offering here. Reach and in. And press. You have 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Now bicep curls, curling the arms in and out. You can either keep the elbows right in by your rib cage, or you can keep the elbows lifted slightly as you curl those arms in and lengthen. And press. We're working through both of your arms to find the strength through this movement. And press and lengthen. You have 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now curl your arms in so weights are by your shoulders. Rotate so palms face in. Alternate punching up towards the ceiling. Switching right and left here. Bend the knees a little bit more as you reach and press. And lift. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk the feet out to that plie squat. Take your arms out so they're in a W position. Reach overhead and bend your knees, and then bend your elbows back into that W. Lift for 2 and take it down for 2. So starting out a little bit slower and lift. Keeping the chest open here and lower. Again, reach and bring it back on in. And lengthen. So keeping the chest open helps you to engage through your back muscles a little bit more with this movement. 5 more slow. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take it faster. Lift it up and down. You can always stay at the slower pace. It's up to you. Both work your arms and your legs just as much. We're just changing the dynamics of this movement. Lift and lower. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and bring it all the way back in. Place the weights out to the side, and then stand at the very top edge of your mat. Reach your arms up and overhead. Nice big inhale. Exhale to release. Sit down. Rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time, or you can walk your hands down your thighs in that nice neutral spine. Reaching down towards the mat. Walk your feet back into downward dog. Lifting the hips up nice and high here. One more breath. Now lift your heels up. So your heels are up nice and high. Shift your weight forward slightly so you're engaging your shoulder blades down onto your back and your shoulders are stable. Bend through your knees. Extend through your legs. So you want to keep this nice hinge from your hips. Keep drawing belly button towards your spine. Lower and lift. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1 more. And now you can lower down onto all 4s. Shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. Going into cat and cow, rounding through your spine, drawing that rib cage in and together, and then lengthening to open up your chest and extending through your spine. Again, rounding and lengthening. And just moving through both directions as much or as little as you'd like. So that way you can gain mobility and you can also find that nice stretch through the movement here. 2 more in both directions. Last one. Now stay on all 4s. Find that solid position here. Reach and extend your opposite arm and leg. Little pulses up, little presses, keeping your hips nice and stable. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. Same thing now, but on the other side. Extending your arm, extending your leg to hip height, little pulses up. This is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. Sit back on your heels and separate your knees. Reach into that child's pose. So walking your arms forward, nice big inhale. And exhale, breathe it out. One more breath. Rolling it on up. Sweep your legs around. Scoot your bottom forward. And now just rolling onto your back. Reach your arms down by your sides, keeping that chest nice and open. Lift your hips on up to a bridge position. Hold it here for a moment. Find the stretch through your thighs, engaging through your glutes, and then lower your hips all the way back down. Again, lifting back up and lower. You have 3 more here. This is 3, 2, 1 more, and lower back down. So now we're going into more of a single bridge position. So you can lift your hips on up. Option is to raise the heel. Otherwise, you can lift your leg into tabletop, lower it back down, and then lower your hips back down. Same thing, but on the other side, lifting up into a bridge. You can just raise the heel, or you can take your leg into tabletop and then lower all the way back down. Again, exhale to lift and release back down onto the mat. Keeping the hips nice and stable with this movement here. And lower, lift, and lower. So you're working through that supporting glute here. Lift and press, and lower it back down. 1 more. And release back down. Okay, so starting with a little ab series, take your legs up towards the ceiling. Start by flexing your feet. Find that Pilates V, so heels are together and your tailbone is heavy. So you may not start right at 90 degrees. You may take your legs a little forward, so you keep your hips heavy, chest is open. Start by bending your knees into a frog position. Try not to let the knees come back too far. Try to keep them over your hips and then extend out to that 45 degrees. So it's a bend and extend. You can take the hands behind your head here, and you can add a chest lift as you extend your legs and then lower, or you can keep your head down the entire time. Nice big exhale as you lengthen nice and long. 8 more here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release and place your feet down on the mat. Don't worry if your joints crack along the way, it just gives you some character. So now taking your legs back into tabletop, keeping that chest open, start with alternating toe taps. Nice big inhale as you lower and exhale as you lift. Keeping the chest open the entire time. You can also flex your feet here if you'd like, just to feel the different sensation you may feel from your thighs. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now extend your legs back up towards the ceiling, flex your feet, and lower your legs down towards that neutral spine. Start by just kind of walking your feet down, and then you're going to take it up. It doesn't have to be a big movement, so I just have my foot slide past the heel or come towards the heel itself, keeping my legs in line with my hips. So we're lowering down for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift it up. 2, 3, 4, and take it down. 2, 3, 4. It's okay to bend your knees here. That's an option. Lower. 2, 3, 4, and lift it up. 2, 3, 4, and lower. 2, 3, 4, and lift. 2, 3, 4. Last one. 2, 3, 4, and lift it up. 2, 3, 4. Nice work. Hug those knees in. One more exercise here. Extending your legs nice and long. Point through the feet. Open up from the hips. So if you flex your feet, you're in that Pilates V. Now extending through your legs, alternate, crossing one leg over and then the other. Think of the action happening from your inner thighs. You can lift the chest, and you can also lower your legs down for a little bit more of a challenge. Feeling that rib cage connect, you can always place your hands behind your head. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug it all the way back in. Place your feet down on the mat. You can either extend your legs for your roll up, or you can bend your knees, reaching your arms back by your ears. Nice big inhale, exhale, peel it on up. Think one vertebrae at a time, and release. Okay, so sweeping your legs around. If you don't feel super comfortable with being on all fours, you can always come up into a standing position and place your hands on a chair or a countertop for support. So finding that all fours position, or standing, keeping your knees bent and hands on that countertop ledge, reach and extend your leg back. Hips are even, lift your leg up to hip height, cross your leg over towards that opposite diagonal line of your mat, and lift and reach the opposite corner. So rainbow taps. Tap across and then tap to that open diagonal. Using that breath to help you. Make sure that you're not pushing out on your opposite hip here as you reach, and then take it to that open position. This is 5. Press. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your leg directly behind you, keeping everything nice and parallel. Lift your leg on up, flex your foot. Inner thigh squeeze, taking your leg across and back to center. So you're just crossing your leg past midline here, getting that little inner thigh engagement. So you want to think about activating through your inner thigh. Pelvic floor gets a little bit of a lift here. You have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your leg nice and long. Bend from your knee, heel lift up. Lift it up and down. So working through your glute and your hip here as you lift your leg, keeping the chest nice and stable. And press. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. You can wiggle out your hips just a little bit. And now we have the same thing, but on the other side. So you can circle out your wrists one direction and then the other if that feels good. Coming back to your starting position, find the length through the crown of your head, extending your leg, lift it up to hip height. Going into your rainbow taps, reaching across and lifting up and over to that diagonal. So it's okay to open up from your hip a little bit as you take it out to the diagonal, or you can keep your leg parallel the entire time. It's up to you here. Reaching across and then over, staying nice and stable through that supporting hip. Pressing away from the mat. You have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. And now take your leg back to center. Leg is parallel. Flex your foot. Inner thigh squeezes, taking it in and back to center. So you're crossing that midline. You're engaging your inner thighs and your glutes here at the same time. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keeping your leg behind you, flex from your knee, going into your heel lifts, lifting up and down. Lift and lower. You can make this a big movement or you can make it a little bit smaller. It's up to you based on where you feel this through your glute and your thigh here. You want to feel it right in the fold of where your hamstring and your glute meet. 3 more. This is 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down. Sitting back on your heels, you can circle out your wrist just a little bit. And now we have a side lying series. So make sure one weight is handy, it's optional. Start on your forearm. So we're going into a forearm side plank. Couple options. So before you choose your option, make sure your hips are stacked. You can keep both knees bent. So you're pressing on up into a half side plank and lower down. You can keep this arm forward for assistance. Otherwise, you can either stack your feet and have your legs extended. I prefer to stagger, so I take my top leg forward. And then keeping your hips low to start, press up into your side plank and then lower all the way down. Option to take the weight in your hand, reach overhead, palm faces towards your hip. You're gonna lift and lower your arm and then come all the way back down with your hips as your arm reaches towards the ceiling. Lift and lower. Pressing away from the mat as you lift your hips on up. And again, lift and press and lower. This is a good one. You have 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one, and release all the way down. Placing the weight out to the side, hand goes underneath your head, legs are extended, and then bend your base leg in. Keeping your hips stacked on top of each other, sweep your leg forward, and then sweep it on back. You can flex your foot, and then exhale, point your foot as you sweep it on back. So you're working through your glute, you're working through the front of your thigh by keeping that leg nice and straight. Again, reach and press. Nice big inhale and exhale. 5 more here. 4, 3, 2. On this last one, keep your leg out to the side. Circle your leg forward, up, back, and around. So think about making the size of a dinner plate here. And reach. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse the circle. So engaging through your tummy muscles, finding that nice lift through your side body here. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. So lift on up, circling your arms, getting that nice stretch through your side body, and release. Switch it on out. Same thing now on the other side, starting with our side plank. So weight is optional. You can do a half plank or a full side plank here. If you're using the weight, reach it up towards the ceiling, keeping that chest open, lift and press, and then lower back down. And again, lift and lower. And lengthen. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release all the way back down. Placing the weight out to the side, hand goes behind your head. Keep that bottom knee bent, leg is extended fully. Sweep your leg forward and then take your leg back. So flexing your foot as you take it forward, lifting out of your waistline, and then pointing your foot as you sweep it back. Nice big inhale and exhale. And reach. And press. Finding that length through your leg. 4 more here. 3, 2, last one. Keep your leg out to the side, circling your leg forward, up, back, and around. Again, reach. And lengthening through your leg, even more here. 3 more. 2, and 1. Reverse the circle, taking it the opposite direction. Trying to keep the same size circle every time. You should be feeling this through your hips. And lift. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release back down. Now press and lift on up, circling your arms to get that nice stretch. And then you'll circle your arms back, turning your hips so you lie down onto your chest. Stack your arms on top of each other. Rest your forehead on top of your hands. You're going to lift up one leg and pulse it up twice. So a little lift, press, and lower. Other side. Lift, pulse, and lower. So it's 2 pulses up. Being really careful that you're not going into your lower back here. You want to still maintain the length of your spine, and you want to feel your glute engage through this movement. So sometimes on that second pulse, it's easy to bend your knee. And as you return your leg down to the mat, it's easy to bend your knee too. So keep finding the length through the front of your thigh here. And lower. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and release back down. Taking your arms out to cactus, keeping the chest open, lift your chest up and then lower back down. So you're using your upper back, you're using your back muscles in the back of your arms to help lift you up and then back down. And lift and lower. 5 more. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now take your hands right underneath your shoulders. Press on up into a half plank and hold it there. So finding your half plank, make sure that your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Bend your elbows so they come right in by your rib cage. Lower halfway down and then straighten out your arms. So you're working through your triceps more. Lower and lift. You can also keep this smaller, just doing a micro bend, or you can take your chest all the way down to the mat. It's up to you. 8 more here. This is 8, 7, 6, 5. Be careful that you're not sinking into your hips here. Let's try for 3 more. 2, last one, and then you can lower all the way back down on the mat. Take your arms back out to cactus, lifting your chest up and down using your upper back muscles here. Keep pressing your feet into the mat. And lift, finding that length in your spine. 4, 3, 2, last one, and release back down. Hands come underneath your shoulders, lift on up to all 4s, and now you can wiggle your hips from one side to the next. Take one leg forward here. So you're gonna step through. You can place your hands on your thighs and just press your hips forward to get a nice stretch. If this is a little too tough on your knee, you can put a blanket underneath your knee for support, opening up the chest. Now place your hands down onto the mat, press your hips forward even more so you get that nice stretch, that nice opener. Release, hinge your hips back, trying to straighten out your leg, and just reach it forward so you get that stretch through your hamstring. You can either keep your foot on the mat or you can flex your foot to get a nice stretch here. One more breath. Bring your knees together. Same thing now, but on the opposite side. Stepping your leg through. Hands go on your thigh. Hinge from your hips. So you're gonna press your hips forward, finding that length through your spine. You can look up a little bit, lifting from your sternum. And now you can place your hands down. You can press your hips forward a little bit more to get that deeper stretch, and you can just hold it here. Now send your hips back, finding the length through the back of your hamstring. You can keep your foot down or you can flex your foot and reach it forward. Just breathing on into this. You may feel a deeper stretch through one side versus the other. One more breath here. And then bring your knees together. Placing your hands down on the mat, tuck your toes. Lift your hips back into downward dog. You should feel so much more open compared to where you started. Your heels may be touching the mat now, or they may be even closer. You should also feel a deeper kind of stretch when it comes to finding that lengthening action through your calves and through your hamstrings. And just start to pedal out your feet right and left here, bending one knee and then the next. Pressing both of your heels down, lift the hips up even higher. And now walk your feet in towards your hands, bending your knees, rolling it on up. Think one vertebrae at a time until your head is the very last thing to come back up, reaching your arms up and overhead and release back down. So going into our last stretch, just gently bring your ear down towards your shoulder, making sure that your shoulders are even. You can bend your knees a little bit. You can also apply a little bit of that overhead pressure. Instead of thinking about just pressing down, think about you're lifting your head away and then over. So you're matching that nice diagonal U-shaped line that you're creating with your muscles. And then gently release, bringing your head back to center. Same thing now, but on the other side. So gently taking your ear over towards your shoulder. Think of it as a little lift up and over. Just breathing on into this. And then gently to release your hand from your head, and you can place your arms down by your sides. Nice big inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. and then exhale to release back down. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.